All right, bear with us for just another moment here. Once we share the screen, it goes to over here, so we're gonna have to pay attention to who we need to admit
Okay.
if we see anything up there.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I think we're ready to rock and roll.
Okay. All right, thank you for all coming. You can hear me. I'll try to talk as loud as I can. This is an orientation for summer. Some of you are here for Freshman Focus Week. Some of you are going to be here for the 5-week session. Some of you might be here for both. So we're going to cover material for both of them. So you know. All right.
Essence.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just using Felisa's student account.
Okay, and for those of you online, can you mute? Thank you. For this first one, we need to click over and then it should work.
Okay. All right. Can you go back?
Yep.
All right, so my name is Judy Young. I'm the director of the Upward Bound program. I've been in this role since June of 2016. Prior to that, I spent almost 30 years as the academic coordinator for the program. So I've done this a lot for many years. Then we have Cindy Jordan, who you might have met outside. She's our office assistant. She does a lot of our mailings and office support staff. And then Jeff Christensen is our actually advising specialist. What? Oh, yeah. And then Pachi Tao is going to be starting with us. Pachi, are you online?
Yes, I am. Hi, everyone.
Okay, hi. And Brendan, are you here by any chance? No, okay. Jessica Bomowski, who was our academic coordinator for the last 3 years, is resigning her position due to some health problems. So her last day with us is May 31st. So Pachi Tao, who is one of our tutors and alumni of our program, just graduated from UWSP this last weekend, is going to be stepping in the interim role for us. And then Brendan Gallard is going to be our residence hall director. And Brendan has been with us, I don't know, 3-4 years.
Yeah, I think 4 years now.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
He's a residence hall counselor. He was also a teacher last summer. Some of you might have had him for social studies history. So he's going to be our hall director.
Hey, everyone, I'm Jeff Christensen. I'm the advising specialist with Upward Bound. I've been working with Upward Bound for over 5 years. Mainly I work with, well, I've been working with recruitment kind of this year. So if you guys are new students, you may have met me through that way, but typically I work with our seniors. I teach college readiness 12 over the summer. So I'll be helping seniors. We'll start the college search process. Applications are open up for the UW system on August 1st already. So we're gonna have if your student will be a senior this summer, we'll be working heavily on that.
Before we go forward, I just wanted to a little bit about Upward Bound. We are a federally funded TRIO program. It's a group of programs that were started on the war on poverty. We have been on the UWSP campus for about 53, going on 54 years. It feels like I've been with it that long, but it's not that long. And then every 5 years, we have to write a renewal grant to the Department of Education to keep our funding for another grant cycle. And I'm happy to report that as of last Friday, I received notification that we are refunded. So we are in business till May 2027. So woohoo for that.
So we're official for another 5 years, basically.
Yes. So we will be around for that. So there's a lot of information to go over. So feel free to raise your hand as we go through some of the handouts that you have that we had you pick up, kind of coincide with some of these slides. So we're not going to go into 100% detail on a lot of it because you have those handouts here.
So when I share the screen, I have to look at the screen up here.
Okay. And then all people coming in.
Yeah. Okay,
All right. I just press this arrow key here.
yeah, you can.
It's not moving.
It's because I just switched to.
Okay. All right.
You want to do the health code? right?
Yes. All right. So for those of you who have been with us for a couple of years before, you had to fill out a paper health history form, and that's how we knew what kind of medications or illnesses or allergies and stuff you have. UW Stevens Point and the whole University of Wisconsin system is switching to an online software called CampDocs. It's like a secure online portal for keeping your students' health history, medication information all secure. It's a brand new thing. We're just learning it. We sent out information to our older students this last spring with instructions. And then for those of you who are new students, it's enclosed in your admission letter. We're just learning it with you. So I know there's a lot of troubleshooting and some hurdles to get through, but please be patient and we'll get through it. So instructions, there were some out there. If you don't have them, you can pick them up before you leave. Please complete the health profile and registration for your student, ideally by June 1st, within the next couple of weeks at least. So we can get all that stuff into the system and input what we need.
So you don't have to turn around.
But it's too small for me to read.
Okay.
So anyway, so all students, when you get to the registration section, unless I just improve it that way. Okay, all right.
Helpful. Never mind.
Oh, that's a little bit helpful. All right, my eyes are kind of like all allergy today, so I'm having a hard time reading on the small screen. Anyway, so when you get to the registration step for your student, all students in this room should check 22-23 academic year. And then if you're coming to a freshman focus or the freshman focus rewind, check that one. And then if you're just coming to the 5-week session, click the 5-week session. You can check all 3 boxes at once and I'll register you for whatever sessions are relevant to you and your student. Okay. So some of the issues that we've been having, you can't find Upward Bound. A couple of you couldn't find Upward Bound. You have to kind of keep scrolling all the way down because it says all UWSP camps are listed in this. So you might have to just keep scrolling or through another page to actually get to the Upward Bound sessions. But if you're using a mobile device, it supposedly looks a little bit different than the desktop. So just keep scrolling until you can find Upward Bound. Feel any more people in?
Yep.
When you log in, when you set up your account on CampDocs, you as a parent guardian are putting in your email address and you're creating your own password. So when you have to go out and come back in, you're putting in that. Don't put your students' email in there. Use whatever email and password you set up with when you set up the account. Immunization information, some of you, you do have to upload an insurance card and immunization record. If you are having a hard time uploading that stuff, you can either make a photocopy, take a picture of it and email it to us and we'll upload it for you. Or you can go to like the Wisconsin Immunization Registry and get all your students' immunization records from there. All right, if your student has asthma, there's going to be, it's going to say that you're incomplete because CampDocs is requiring you to fill out an asthma care plan for us. So if that happens, just let us know. We can send that form to you to fill out for your student. I know it's kind of, there's a lot to CampDocs and we're like I said, we're learning like you're like you are at this moment. So oh, now I can't get it to advance. All right, unfortunately, we're still in the pandemic. We still have to talk about COVID. Next summer, it's going to be a lot less intense than it was for those of you who were with us last summer. So There's going to be a pre-arrival COVID test requirement. So if you are unvaccinated, you will need to come to camp on check-in day with documentation showing that you have a negative COVID test. So that would be like you could do a home COVID test, or you can go to Walgreens or something. It has to be within 72 hours of your check-in date. We will be sending check-in information to you in the mail with all your check-in times. We also going to, if you're vaccinated, you do not need to provide that, okay? If you do have a vaccination card, however, we appreciate it if you could send that to us. So we have that on file, so then you can bypass a lot of that kind of stuff. Yes,
So if we do a home test, do you want just a picture?
a picture of it is fine.
Okay.
Yep, yep. Maybe just put the date on it.
Yeah.
And the student's name, of course. So,
Yeah,
so we're gonna be doing daily symptom screenings. Last year, we did the whole temperature check. We're not gonna do that intense. We're just gonna ask students, with symptoms. If they feel like they have a fever, then we can do a temperature check. Face masks are gonna be encouraged for students who are unvaccinated. The campus does not have a masking mandate. They are just encouraging people to wear them if we're gonna be in a large group, but again, that's just an encouraged, it's not a required situation. All right, so if your student does show signs of COVID during the summer, we're gonna notify the parent guardian. We're gonna have COVID testing kits in our health office. We'll test your student, wait for the results and keep them isolated while waiting for the results. If they're good, they're good. We can keep going on in life as usual. If they somehow test positive, we will have a student isolated in the room. We'll notify you. Have you come down and get them as soon as you possibly can. And then we will do our contact tracing and notify all the other students and staff about that. If the student, let's say it's the second week of the 5-week session and your student gets COVID and they test positive after their quarantine period or isolation period, and they feel healthy enough to come back, then they can come back and finish the rest. Depending on where our timeline is in our summer session, we can have a conversation about that. Hopefully we don't have any of those kind of issues, but that our campus will initiate a cleaning protocol. And then we'll just monitor everybody else and test people as we need to, so.
Just click this one.
What you're doing?
I did put someone.
I missed one?
I did.
Oh, okay. All right, health information. I have to step over here. So, like I said, face masks are encouraged if you're not vaccinated, daily cold and symptom checks, prescription medications. Part of your camp docs, when you say you're going to list what prescriptions your student has, they need to come to camp, come to summer session in their original bottle. Please don't put them like in a pill container or anything. We need to have the original bottle. State law makes it illegal for your student to keep it on their person. So we do have a health office that keeps, it gets locked and stored in there. When your student needs their medication, we have it on the log. And a staff member will bring them down to the health office and administer their medication when they need it. If you want to count out and bring just what they're going to need, that's fine, or you can bring the whole bottle. Usually if we're starting to running low, if you're running low, we can contact you to get some more. If their medication changes at all, since when you filled out that health profile, at any time you can go on that health profile and update their medications. Or if they stop taking it, like let's say they stop taking something for the summer, then you can go and do that they're no longer taking this or with that. Even birth control pills have to be administered by our camp health staff. So we also can allow students to keep over-the-counter medications. We will have a supply of like Advil, Tylenol, all those kinds of things, Benadryl in the health office. If your student has a headache or needs some allergy medicine, they should come to the health office to get that. So students may keep inhalers. That's okay for them to keep. And then, yep, and I went over the COVID protocols there. So if your student does get, like, let's say they get injured, we're playing volleyball and they sprain an ankle, I think you got to take them to urgent care to get it looked at. We will notify you and we'll say, hey, we need to take your student to urgent care. Is that okay? some families don't want us to do that. Like if you live in town and you want to do it, that's totally fine. That's why we always call you first. And then we carry accident insurance on all of our students. So if it's an accident, there's a whole claims process that will walk you through. It's kind of in revision right now with down in Madison, so I don't know when we'll get it, but there is a claims form process and all that to take care of those kind of ER bills. If your student gets like appendicitis, or we always let you know, and it's always your option to come get your student and take them to your home healthcare person if you wish in that situation. So. All right, anything else I might have missed? Any questions so far in the health stuff?
Anyone online?
Anyone online have a question? Do you have you on your tablet? No. Okay,
Oh, I'm gonna click. If you guys have a question online, you're good, because we can't use the chat feature right now because we're doing a dual in-person presentation right now. If you have a question, you'll have to unmute yourself.
yeah, okay. Are there any questions online about any of that? Okay, residents all check in and COVID policies. Again, I feel like we're talking a lot about COVID, but the immune system makes us do this, so we're doing it. We want to keep everybody safe. So as I said, we will be mailing out instructions on when your students' check-in date is and time. I think we're going to do it alphabetically. So like we'll say if students A through C, you can check in between this time and this time. We're going to be in Watson Residence Hall. If you're not familiar with campus, if you know where Starbucks is in town, it's the residence hall right behind Starbucks and right on the corner there, between Isidore and what is it, Maria Drive? Yeah. So we'll send you a letter. We'll say your student can check in the residence hall at this time. If your student is vaccinated, they can come right to the residence hall. And we'll check them off on the list. They can go to the health office and they'll go get their health screening. Then once they get their health screening, all their medications turned in, then they will go to the front desk. What? Are you letting people in?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Actually, that's on the next slide. If you're unvaccinated, again, you have to stop, get checked off, hand us your documentation. If you do not have documentation, we will test you on that day in the health office. So your parent and guardian needs to stay with you until we get those COVID tests back. So we will have COVID testing on site that day. If you do not have if you for somehow you can't get into get a COVID test and you need to. Okay. If you're experiencing any COVID symptoms on that day, please just call us and say, hey, we're just going to get this checked out before we check in. We can totally arrange a different check-in time for you. We don't want somebody coming in not feeling good right off the bat. The COVID test we use is the Abbott Finax Now test that you see in the grocery stores now. So, all the COVID policies were on the handout we gave you. I'm kind of just summarizing him because that's like a 4-page document. And we didn't want to spend a lot of time on that. All right, again, with check-in, as I said, the first stop is going to be the health office. We log all your medications, we give you a COVID test if we need it. When you're all clear with the health office, you go to the front desk and you get your room key and your dining hall wristband. And then your parent and your family can help you move into the residence hall room that you're assigned to. And then once your student is all settled, we want the parents to leave, say bye, hug your kid goodbye, give them a kiss, whatever, and say goodbye. We will be having some outdoor activities, games, and we have dinner and orientation. The students will get their school supplies. We provide all the students their school supplies, so you do not need to come with any notebooks or anything, unless you have like a personal thing you like to use. iPads will be issued to students in the 5-week session only. Those take a minute to set up, so we don't do it during freshman focus week because by the time we get everything going, it's over. So.
I'm online. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So you said earlier that you have handouts or something that the people live got. Are
Yes.
those going to be sent to us, and or is this slideshow going to be shared? Because my daughter hasn't been able to participate in this, so I'm just trying to take notes.
Yes, yes, we can send out the recording, and we're also going to be mailing all the handouts to the students who are online.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay, code of conduct, that's also a handout. I think a lot of you were also sent this upon admission. So basically, our rules are pretty simple. They're a lot like school. We just want to respect each other, listen, follow directions. We are an academic program, so we put emphasis on your schoolwork and building your skills ready for the next school year. So every night we have study session, which is 8:15 to 9:45, Sunday night through Thursday night. And that's time that's set aside for the students to work on their homework projects for the next day. We have tutors available who can help them with all that. Students are also expected to be in their assigned rooms at 8:15 to work on their homework. You can't be wondering and saying, hey, I need to get this from the front desk, or I need to go borrow that book from somebody. You need to have all your study materials ready to go at 8:15. Academic honesty, just like at school, cheating and plagiarism are not allowed or are considered serious offenses. So we do with those on a case by case basis. Everybody here wants to be here. You're all good students. You wouldn't be sitting here if we didn't think you could do this, right? So we're not gonna have any plagiarism problems or any cheating problems, right? Okay, good. And students are expected to complete and submit homework assignments by their deadlines, by their teachers. I will say you will get homework. For all you new students here, I don't know if there's an older student here who wants to ease everybody's mind that it's not too hard and you can get it done, right? Usually, okay, Jackie's nodding her head. Yes, Dawson, thumbs up in the back. Okay, all right. Like I said, we're an academic program, so we put academics in front of all the fun stuff. So I would like to say that going to classes and doing your schoolwork is like the meat and potatoes, and all the fun stuff that we do on the weekend is your dessert, and you don't get dessert until you eat your main vegetables, right? So that's kind of how I like to think about it. And then the residence hall director might have some additional rules set up. Some of those are like minor things, like no running in the hall and all those kind of things. We want to keep everybody safe. So, the night of on check-in, we will have an orientation. We'll go through all the rules in detail. And if you really have a hard time falling asleep tonight, you can go on our website and click on rules and regulations, and you have them all there. So, all right, dress code, basically what you'd have at school. So it is summertime. We realize it could get hot. The residence hall air conditioned, the classrooms are air conditioned. We go to class, whether it's very hot, very cold, it's rainy, it's sunny. So make sure you bring clothing for all types of weather. Be prepared for that. I suggest good walking shoes. Clothing has to cover all your body parts. Like we don't want anything hanging out that shouldn't be hanging out, right? You can wear spaghetti strap tank tops. Again, we're not going to walk around with the ruler and see if your shorts are long enough, but you know, if we think something's inappropriate, we're going to tell you to change. Nothing that advertises drugs, alcohol, hate speech. And let's see, hats are okay. We don't like hoodies, but a baseball hat is okay. Some teachers might have really specific additional things, like some teachers don't like hats in the classroom and they'll tell you that. And we have the discretion to make decisions on your clothing. If we think something's inappropriate, we'll send you back to the residence hall to change. One important thing you all need to know, and we'll talk about this at orientation on the first night, is when you have science classes, all of our science classes, the lab and the classroom are all going to be in one lab room this year. The university is undergoing a huge renovation project, so we had to shift a lot of classrooms. So we only have one classroom in the new science building. You have to wear long pants and you have to wear closed-toed shoes in the science lab. So on the day that you have science, you need to have long pants and closed-toed shoes. If you want to have something to change into after science class in your backpack or whatever, that's totally fine. But during that class period, you need to have long pants and closed-toed shoes in the science lab. So, all right. Any questions about the dress code? The dress code is also on that checklist of items to bring to a little bit more detail. All right, schedules, stipends, timelines. Here is our freshman focus class schedule. Okay, so you all check in on Sunday, June 19th. I think that might be Father's Day. For some reason, we always seem to land on Father's Day. Check-in time will be roughly 1 to 4 o'clock PM. The day, if you're a peer coach, you'll be checking in about 1 o'clock. Everybody else, I think, is 2 to 4, but we again will send you a letter on this. ENV stands for Energize and Vitalize. We have peer coaches and they kind of do like a little energizer activity, get everybody going for the day. And then we have breakfast, which is over in the DeBow Dining Center. So that's where the college students eat. And then we have a class called High School Upward Bound 101. And that's just kind of like, what is Upward Bound? What are our expectations? What are our rules? What do colleges look for? What should I be doing in 9th grade in order to get ready to go to college someday? It's some very basic information that you need to know to make that transition to high school more successful. Then we'll have a writing class, and then there'll be lunch, and then we're going to do some career exploration activities. We have an intro to theater arts session on the first Monday. Hopefully they can take you over, the teacher can take you over to the theater arts department and show you like the stage and the costumes and the prop shop and all those kind of things. There's way more careers to theater arts than just the acting aspect. So we wanted to give students who are maybe interested in that aspect of things. Then we'll have some team building activities and a study session. Tuesday, it's pretty much the same schedule, except instead of writing, we have current events. And then we will have Step Up Your STEM class after lunch. And then Wednesday is a repeat of Monday, and then Thursday is pretty much a repeat of Tuesday. Friday, we are going, we have, actually Thursday afternoon, we have a USP campus tour that we're going to be going on. I know you're going to be living there, but it's just kind of have an overall missions presentation. And then we're going to have an outdoor movie that Thursday night. We have a space theme in case you haven't seen it by all of our graphics and literature and everything. We have a space theme, Launching Your Future. So we're going to be showing the movie Hidden Figures that night outside. It's not going to rain at all, right? We also have a planetarium after somebody has to be admitted.
Not anymore.
Okay. All right.
That's too slow.
All right, Friday, we're having a UB 101 wrap up, and then we're going to be leaving for a field trip. We are going to the Wisconsin Dells. We're going to be doing Ripley's Believe It or Not. And then what else were we doing that day? Oh, Mount Olympus?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're going to Mount Olympus. So
Okay.
there'll be water park, go-karts, roller coasters.
Saturday morning, June 25th, we're going to have a breakfast. We're going to invite your families to come, and we're going to have like a little breakfast and talk about your activities from the previous week, have a slideshow. The peer coaches are going to do a little activity with students, and then you can pack up and move out, and then you're done for freshman focus. Then we have one day in between to switch over the residence hall, and this is the class schedule for the 5-week session. Kind of like, this is the master schedule. You're not going to have this many classes on your schedule. This is just the master schedule when everything falls. So your students will get a schedule, and instead of having all those classes listed in the block, they're just going to have the class that they're assigned to in that box. So each student has roughly 6 to 8 classes, maybe a study hall in there. Some new classes that we have this summer are women's history, theater arts. We used to have a film appreciation class, but now it's called Intro to Theater Arts. And we have political science, civics, and social problems and social psychology this year. Jeff is also expanding his teaching repertoire, and he's going to be teaching a business entrepreneurship class as an elective. So
And personal finance.
and personal finance.
So if, for those of you that had it before, it's gonna be, the personal finance will be a little bit modified and different, so you're not gonna get the same exact content. I'm excited to do the business entrepreneurship because we really haven't offered a business elective before. I have a bachelor's in business, so that'll be cool.
Mhm. Yep. And then we have computers. I think we're gonna have that split between, we have Lego Mindstorm. Some of you might have done that last year. We have the expansion kit, so that might go a little bit beyond what we did last summer, or there's also gonna be like a programming class, but I'm not exactly sure which one that's gonna be yet. So students will all take a reading, a writing, a math, a science, the CR10, CR11, CR12, up to that stands for college readiness. So every student gets put into a college readiness class based on what grade level they'll be going into. And we do a lot of, like for the 10th grade year, it's going to be a lot of time management, organization, executive functioning kind of things. Your juniors, it's going to be like preparing for the ACT, researching a career. Seniors, it's a lot with, Jeff does a lot with college application essay, financial aid. What else do you do in that class, Jeff?
For what class?
CR12.
Oh, college readiness 12. Yeah, we will, we're gonna be researching different colleges. So at the end of the class, we'll be doing a presentation on two of the colleges that you picked. And then the presentation will actually be given to all the Upward Bound students, well, of course, except for the current 8th graders. And then what's cool is that you'll get to kind of see or find out information about other colleges. So we're all helping each other like find out information about all like the different schools. So my class is pretty hands-on too. So like we will like learn how to count credits for majors in graduation. I'll take you on tours of like the financial aid office. You'll meet with like career services, the academic and career counseling center. And even if you don't come to Point, I still like to bring you to these offices just so you know like these offices exist when you get to college. So it's pretty hands-on stuff.
Yeah, so your core required classes, like I said, the reading, the writing, the math, science, et cetera, I will be putting you into those classes based on what you'll be taking next year in school as best as I have information on. And then the elective classes, that's why we sent you that multi-page form so you can check what your preferences are, and I'll do my best to give you at least your first 3 choices in there. If something changes as we get going and say, I'm no longer taking algebra 2, I'm taking pre-calc, we can, don't panic and freak out. We can fix things for you. What you can't do is say, I don't want to take writing. That's not an option. You have to take writing. So with that, and then, yes.
I just need a break whenever you're done with this.
Okay. All right. And then, let's see, Friday afternoons, we have classes till about noon, and then we usually do a field trip or an activity on a Friday afternoon. Students do not get graded for their classes. We just ask that students always put forth your best effort. We want you to, everybody has room for improvement, right? So just take it as I'm trying to learn and improve my skills, and hopefully it'll be helpful to you in the next year. Students can earn an elective credit at their high school for completing all their classes during the 5-week session. I fill out like a credit recommendation report. We send a copy to the parent guardian. We also send a copy to the school, and the student eventually will have an elective credit show up on their transcript. So, okay.
All right, just for the people online, we're taking attendance to just see who's here. Some of you have names that I don't recognize, and I've messaged you all. So some of you have already responded. So I got Cameron Brewer, Madison Day, and Maddie Metoxen, but there's 2 people that are just named iPhone, and I got Cameron. So whoever's got the other iPhone, also Jacqueline's iPad. And J Lo's iPad. I'm not sure who y'all are. So if you can check your messages and just reply to me, that way we can get you marked in as attended. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any questions about the
Oh,
classes?
sorry, and also Schmidt mom, we have 2 students with the last name Schmidt. So I wasn't sure if that was Alicia or Lucas.
Okay.
Even Adams.
Okay. All right, any questions about the classes? Yes.
Just one quick question. So when they flip from the freshmen to the regular 5,
Mhm.
so we actually move them to a different room?
We're hoping, we're crossing our fingers that they can stay in the same room. It just depends. Last summer they had to move because they had all these COVID cleaning protocols, but hopefully we can have them stay in the same room. I'm not 100% on that. You can pick them up. Usually we have something going on for those students. So if you're a peer coach and you're staying for both sessions, we will have something going on that day. So you don't have to come and get them and then bring them back the next day or anything like that. So,
Yeah, because I know you have to get the breakfast or whatever.
Yeah.
this morning, and I didn't know if it was like during that day that we just kind of.
yeah, hopefully we don't have to move them, but once we get our housing information, we'll learn that information. So. All right, here's our activity calendar. This is probably gonna change a little bit, but it's mostly what we have for the month of June. As you can see, freshman focus, we start on the 19th. We're doing some team building. We, Carl D's is just ice cream place in town. Planetarium, we have volleyball, outdoor movie, and then like I said, we're going to Wisconsin Dells, and then you all are pretty much done. 10th through 12th graders, you check in on the 26th. Our first weekend, we're doing a rocket launch, we're doing rocket building. It's our whole rocket theme. So anyway, we're gonna be doing a rocket launch and then we'll do ice cream that night. And then we have a volleyball tournament. And then we get into July. Right away, our first weekend, the 4th of July holiday, which I'll get into in a minute here. But we are gonna shut the residence hall down noon on July 2nd through Monday afternoon. So we will need you to come pick up your kids or whenever at some time between that period, because we are taking a break. And they do have to be back the evening of July 4th. We're running classes as normal as on July 5th. So like if you live in town and you want to drop them off on Tuesday morning, that's totally fine. We just need to know that ahead of time. But some of our students are like live 2 hours away. So we're gonna get them back on Monday night. And I know it's the 4th of July and that's just how it goes. That's how the calendar is following. In Stevens Point area, they're doing all their fireworks and stuff on Sunday night. So hopefully not too many of you are gonna have too many issues with that. Then we have a hockey draft. One of the favorite activities of students is the Sweaty for Hockey Tournament. So it's like this big, even if you hate sports and you don't think you can play hockey, it's just fun to be on a team and contribute to what you can. So we have seniors are the captains and they kind of just draft their teams. And then we have bowl soccer. On the 8th, Friday afternoon, the 8th, we're gonna be making up Monday classes. So we're gonna be running an extended class day that day. And then we'll have bowl soccer, ice cream again. Then we're gonna be going to the Twin Cities, Science Museum in Minnesota, Mall of America. So start saving you pennies from your jobs or your babysitting or helping out around the house for Mall of America. On the 10th, we're just going to the beach. You see those laundry days up on there. I'll get into that in a second as well. The following weekend, we are going to UW La Crosse for a tour on the 15th, and then we're going to be taking a pizza boat cruise on the La Crosse River or Mississippi River. It's like an old paddle boat kind of thing. On the 16th, we're going to be doing some community service activities. Then one of our students is currently just got selected for Kids from Wisconsin, so we're going to go to that concert that night and support him. He's one of our students who's going to be graduating this.
It's like a musical theater
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah. 17th, Family Day. We're going to invite families to come and hang out with their student. We might have some structured activities going. We have conferences that you can sign up and have a conference with Upward Bound staff and teachers and just talk about what your students doing well, what they could maybe work on. You can spend the day with them. We'll have all sorts of activities. So that's kind of a day to hang out with your student. We also encourage on that day for families to start taking some of the stuff home that they might not need for the last last 2 weeks, because we have to get all the residents home pretty fast then. And then we have the Sweaty for Hockey Tournament. Unfortunately, we have to have it on a Wednesday because there's all these sports camps now that COVID's over, all the sports camps are back. So we couldn't get a weekend. If you want to come watch that, it's usually pretty fun. We'll give you information about when that's going to start. That's going to be in the indoor track where it was last year, if you were here last year. The 22nd through the 24th, we are going to the Central Wisconsin Environmental Station. That's over towards Amherst. It's like I don't know how you describe it, kind of like Tree Haven that we were at this like spring, like a camp. It's a camp, basically.
I might have been to Sleds before, heard of Sleds.
Okay. Yeah, we were there.
They have cabins that will stay in and then we'll have structured activities and stuff. UWSP is a big college of natural resources, so we have some outfield stations. So the university actually owns Sleds, so.
Yeah, so we were actually there during COVID. Was it 2020, 2021? I can't remember. We had a spring workshop there for a day. A couple years ago now. All right, and then we're heading into our last week of classes. We have an awards banquet and a dance on the 29th. And then we are checking out the residence hall that morning. And then we have an honors field trip. So it's usually 25 students that we start with the seniors and work our way down. So seniors, juniors, sophomores, 25 students will get selected to go on the honors trip. So if you're doing all your homework, following the rules, and you're a senior, your odds are pretty good about going on this honors field trip. We're going to Mackinac Island, Sault Ste. Marie area. We just found out we got refunded, so we haven't really planned that far yet, so.
And you don't have to go to that.
Right.
So only people that are selected at the end of the summer get to go to that, and it's
Mhm.
voluntary as well. So then you'll be here for these additional days.
Yeah. Till
Well, you
August.
won't be here. You'll be on the trip with us.
Yeah, we'll be gone through August.
We'll store all your stuff in a safe place, and then your checkout will be when the coach
Mhm.
bus gets back to
Mhm.
campus.
Now, if you're a sophomore sitting here, it's like, I don't have to listen to this, I can't go. That's not true. Every year we end up taking a couple sophomores on the trip who showed really good leadership and kind of stood out amongst the crowd, because not all seniors end up wanting to go because of jobs or sports camp starting and all that kind of
And that would
stuff.
be current freshmen, because in the summer, you're considered a sophomore.
More, correct. And then we'll be back August 2nd. If you're not going on that honors trip, we're gonna have you check out by June on the 30th. So we'd be totally out. And then we all kind of take a breather, and then when September starts, we're back to our academic year activities, so. So this could change a little bit, but roughly, I think we're gonna put it on our website, so.
Yeah, so for those that haven't seen it, I'll show it at the end. If you go to our Upward Bound webpage, there's a big graphic that says Launch Your Future. It's like our summer brand. You just click that, and then it'll be like the summer launch page. So we'll have all the information for summer. Some of the stuff isn't on there yet, but we'll post like the activities. So like, I know parents like to kind of follow along and know what's going on, or they'll be like, oh, what are they doing tonight? Or what are they doing this weekend? I know there's some students that ask like, hey, I want to work some weekends. So like, it's nice to check that, because if there's certain things that you want to do on one of the weekends, then it's important for you not to work. And you cannot pick the community service day to work. So just, no, that's a joke. But
Yeah, okay. All right, stipends and deductions. So a stipend, for those students who don't know, it's kind of like an allowance. So students can earn $20 a week for going to classes, doing their work, and following the rules and so forth. So in order to get your $20, if you're following the rules and doing all your work and on time for class, you're going to get your $20 at the end of the week. We all come over to our office, where our office building is. We go to the bursar's office, it's called, and you sign your name, they hand you a $20 bill. Now, if for some reason you miss class, you're late for class, you don't turn in the homework assignments, there are deductions for things. You break a rule, there's certain deductions for things. We have some of those up there. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, because it's going to change a little bit, but as you can see, if it's like academic dishonesty, you could lose your whole stipend for that week. So
do the freshmen or current eighth graders, are they gonna get it for that week?
they're gonna get it, but they won't have the deductions. They're just gonna have their
Okay.
$20.
So that way they'll get it Thursday, so that way
Yeah.
you'll have some spending money for our trip on Saturday or Friday.
Yeah, so every Thursday is stipend day. So the staff should be keeping track of, like if you go into somebody's room and play with their phone and haha, isn't this funny? That's not funny. It's violating somebody's privacy. So that is a stipend deduction, things like that. We will go over all these little details
Sounds
that
like
are.
that happened before.
Yeah, this is all stuff that's happened before, which is why we keep adding to this. Non-compliance with the staff member. Usually we give students a warning. If they're still doing the same thing, then we start deducting money or other things. We do not tolerate harassment or intimidation of any kind. If that is happening to you, whether it's virtual or in person, you need to tell us immediately. Don't try to solve the problem yourself, because we don't want to have any of that. So, and if it's somebody from back home that's doing it too, you still let us know so we can try to put a stop to that as much as we can. So we want everybody to feel safe and get along and kind of grow into a family. So please just be respectful of each other and understand we're all in the same boat and we're all trying after the same goal here. So, all right. Your room key, you are going to have a key to your residence hall room. If you lose that key and it happens, you're going to get a lanyard like this when you check in. It's actually probably gonna be just like this. And we want you to put your room key on it and wear it around your neck because it's really easy for students to lose their keys. And you can use whatever lanyard you want. You don't have to use the one we give you. If you lose your room key, you have to, we'll get you another one, but it's gonna cost you $30.
And we'll take it out of your stipend. Oh,
Yeah,
We don't have a second.
yeah. And then your wristband, I don't have a sample of it. Yeah, yes, it's gonna all look like that wristband. That's your access to the dining hall. So you go to the dining hall, you just be like, upper bound will be a special color. If you lose that, it's $5. Please tell us. We know that people are like, oh, I don't want to tell anybody I lost it. I just won't eat. Don't skip meals. It's not that big of a deal. It happens. We even have staff members who lose it. So
I might have lost it before.
yeah, so just please tell us when those things happen. We're just trying to teach you responsibility and keeping track of your stuff. So that's how a lot of this, we're not trying to be mean. We just want to teach you how to be a little bit more responsible and keeping track of your stuff. As you get to be older and you get to be on adulthood, you're gonna have a lot of these things that you're gonna have to keep track of. And so we want to get you thinking in that mindset right there. I am happy to report that, I mean, like I said, I've been doing this job for decades and we have not had any issues with alcohol and drugs. So that is a zero tolerance for that. That can get you kicked out of Upward Bound. If we catch you with that includes vapes, it's going to get taken away. We're going to call
No
campus.
vaping or smoking, of
Yes.
course.
Yes, those are all illegal. So we usually call campus security, have them deal with that. We usually call mom and dad, tell them what happened. Depending on the situation, we'll deal with it. All right, swearing, you know, we don't have fines for that, but if it gets to be excessive when you're dropping the F-bomb all the time, then we're gonna start taking money away. So that includes staff. Okay, any questions so far? Again, the first end of orientation, we're gonna go over all this stuff in way more detail. So, and then the hall director might have some other additional rules. All right. More rules. This is just our step policy. So we have a 4-step policy that's on the code of conduct that you picked up. Basically, students have 4 chances. So your step 1 is like, we gave you a warning, you broke the rules, don't do it again. Step 2 is, you did it again, you did something else. Now we're gonna have a conversation about some other things and maybe you don't get to go on a trip or an activity or get a type of deduction or something. Step 3 is a 3-day suspension from the program. We send you home. It's like, once you think about, do you want to do this? Do you want to be here? What are your goals? Come back. And we're going to goals. The 4th step is when you're just dismissed from the summer program. Like we gave you plenty of opportunity, not changing your behavior. This happens rarely. You can go right from a 0 to a step forward, depending on the situation too. So, we will go over this again in more detail, but it's also on the paper that we handed out. So our kids are usually really well behaved. We don't have too many. We get mostly like just teenager stuff. So, all right, weekends and appointments. Okay. So the July 4th weekend, as I mentioned, we're going to have all the students check out. Students can start checking out for 4th of July weekend as early as after lunch on July 1st. If for some reason you can't get off work to come get your student, that's totally fine. We will keep the residence hall open till noon on Saturday. So sometime figure out a way that you can get your student, come pick up your student by noon on that Saturday. If you can't, like we have to work or we have this going on, we have that going on, like give us plenty of notice and we can arrange for a staff person to transport your student home. We're gonna do that sparingly because we only have so many vehicles and so much staff. Any other time a student wants to go home for a weekend, you need to notify the residence hall director. That's going to be Brendan. We like at least 2 to 3 days notice just because there's a lot of moving parts. We have a lot of students. And so you might just be thinking, oh, it's just my student and we got this thing going on, but we have like 70 kids we got to keep track of. So if you can give us advance notice, so we can keep a running list and make sure that we keep track of where our students are going. That is very helpful and appreciated. There will be a sign in and sign out at the front desk of the residence hall. So if you're coming to get your student, you need to sign them out. And then when they come back, you need to sign back in so we know that they're back. If anything should change, would like you say, I think we're gonna be back about 6 o'clock on Sunday, but if something happened, you're gonna bring them back early, like just give the residence hall director a call and let him know. And then your check-in information letter will have his cell phone. Unvaccinated students, when you come back to campus, we'll have to just test you before you can join activities. And then that transportation permission slip that we had out there, we're only gonna let you go get picked up by anybody who's on that form. So like if you say, my sister Mary has to come get my student because I can't get off work, you can send us an email, that will suffice, or you can bring a new permission slip form that anybody who is allowed to pick up your student.
But parents don't need to be on that.
Yeah,
You don't need
parents
to fill one out for yourself.
Right. That's just anybody else besides you who would be okay for your student to pick up your student.
I have a suggestion too for the check-in, checkout. So I've actually gotten a lot of emails and I talked to a parent last week about, you might already know you're gonna be gone for this certain vacation, or you have a doctor's appointment or something like that. I recommend just like keeping a running list of all the things that are going on this summer and bring it to that first day when you check in. We're getting lots of emails like, hey, I'm gonna be gone this week, and they're telling me, or they're telling Judy or Jessica, and it's hard for us to all coordinate that. So if you can just keep a running list now, and then bring it that first day of check-in. And then of course you can add as you go throughout the summer, but ahead of time, you don't need to let all of us know. If that makes sense.
If your student has a dental appointment and it's at 11 o'clock on a Thursday, obviously they're gonna miss class. That's totally fine. That's an excused absence for class. They won't get dinged or in trouble for that. Just let us know, again, know in advance, and then we can tell your student, hey, your mom's coming at 11 o'clock, be at the dorm. And we will have a staff person make sure that they're there for when you're picking them up. Okay. So we only encourage students to take, besides the 4th of July, if they don't want to go home at any time, they don't have to. It's totally up to you and what's going on. Sometimes we have families that have like a wedding or a family reunion going on, and you know what date that is, that's totally fine. We encourage them to stay as much as possible and not just run home, because one of the biggest parts of our program, I think, is just that the social interaction and being with other people, and it kind of just makes the program that much more impactful for you if you are sticking around. We understand stuff happens, students get homesick, it's gonna happen. If you want to go home for a night or whatever, that's totally fine. Just please give us advance notice on that. All right, rooms, food, and what to bring. What are we doing for time?
It's almost 7. Do we want to take a break?
Yeah, do we
Does
want
someone
to
need to use the restroom or take a break?
or stand up and stretch?
Yeah, we'll come back and we'll start back at 7:05, so you got 9 minutes.
The stretching.
And if anybody has any personal questions or maybe one-off weird things that are happening, or if you have paperwork, you can come talk to us too. Those of you that are in the online, you can also now chat. So if you do need a question, feel free to chat me.
Judy,
Yep.
hi, this is Hannah's mom, Lynn.
Uh-huh.
I believe you sent me some forms for her medical, or the other director did. I'm just making sure, did you guys receive those?
Yep, she's all good to go.
Okay, told you, Hannah.
Yeah.
She's freaking out.
Okay, no, she's all good to go.
So she doesn't have to do the camp thing or whatever?
No, your mom already did that. No, your mom filled that out and we
Yeah.
entered it in there. So,
Okay, thank you.
yep.
You guys need a new copy or a new IEP?
Oh, that would be helpful too. So how about,
I don't have it with me. I have it at home,
okay.
but we just got it in the mail yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so if you want to mail us a copy of your insurance card and your immunization and that,
Okay.
I can give you, actually, I'll just give you my card right now that has that.
Hi, this is Doug.
What's up?
Hi. My mom was wondering if we did it for like the medical records.
Who's that?
Oh, okay. That's really helpful for us to actually mention that to everybody. Okay.
What was your question, Doug?
My mom was wondering if we should do it online,
Do what
medical
online?
records.
Oh, the medical records?
Is Deck good?
Yes,
Deck is not good?
you need to go on to Camp Docs and sign up.
Okay, thank you.
If you don't have, do you have the instructions for that?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you. I'm just answering some questions online here. Cheyenne said, if we were to leave for work and we miss class on Friday, would that be considered excused? Yes, we can excuse you for that. Zhang. Oh, do we talk about work letters?
No, I can go.
Is that on the thing?
No, it's not.
Yeah, and I talked to Cheyenne about that. And then can you check if Jasmine? She has everything, Camp Docs is good? Yep. Okay, so Elizabeth and Deshawn, it looks like Jasmine has everything. Okay, and then Becky has a question. So they get a stipend. How much should they bring for the activities and extras if they want them? We fully cover 100% of everything that they do. So their food will be covered, their tickets for anything we do. They will never need money. But if they want to spend money on souvenirs or additional, like we even provide snacks on the bus and stuff. But if they want to buy like extra stuff, then that's up to them. I can't really give you an amount. They will get $20 a week. And I don't recommend them having a lot of cash on hand, just in case they lose it or it gets stolen. I don't think anyone would, but you know, you never know.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, what's up?
So with that,
Yeah.
when it comes to like that, if like a student wants to just walk around campus or something, who would they notify?
Yeah, so, yeah, if you have like a friend or something that you want to do that with, yeah, just find another. So all the RAs will be living in the hall and then you can just be like, hey, we want to go for a walk. And then you just find a staff member to accompany you guys.
Oh, okay.
So like, because you're under 18, we still have to be with you, which is kind of annoying, but
Yeah.
it's also a safety thing too. So I'm sure your parents would like that. So, yeah, good question. Do you have any other questions? Do you have a question?
I think.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the pool is not going to be open this summer. We'll be going to the beach and we can go to like the city pool on a couple days. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
At least that'll be.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Ryan Ruder, do we need to send money for extras during the freshman focus week? No, you don't. Everybody should have, like, they'll get a $20 stipend on Thursday, assuming they earned all of it. And then they'll have spending money for the weekend. But again, we pay 100% of everything, food, snacks, like activity fees. Spending money usually is on souvenirs or additional snacks that they want or that they can choose. Somebody asked about bikes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you can bring a bike. I've had students bring bikes, skateboards, scooters, stuff like that.
Just make sure. you
In
have a way-
general, you still have to kind of be around the groups. You can't like bike ahead and then, be by yourself. And then Essence asked, who do we email when we need to pick up our student?
That'll be Brendan, so we'll have. it-
Yeah, so
we'll have
when
that.
you check in, there's a handbook that you will get. And in the handbook will have all the contact information for the hall director. So you can either text or email the hall director. Good, great questions.
All right, is everybody pretty much back?
All right, you guys, we've got about a minute, so I'm gonna just check to make sure everyone's here.
Okay, can you hear me online? Okay. Am I back live here?
Yep. Okay, we're gonna get started again.
Okay,
Let me know if you need me to take over.
I might need you to play the
Oh,
video.
sure.
So before we start talking about the residence hall, I just wanted to take a step back with the academics. The parent asked me a really good question. If your student has an IEP or a 504 plan, or gets any kind of modification for like taking tests, that would be really helpful if you could send us a copy of that, because we want to make sure that we keep it consistent with the summer. Like, we don't want your student to have any challenges with that. Like, if they're used to getting extra time on tests, we just need to know about that. So you can send that to us, that would be perfect. Also, for students who do work, somebody asked a question about if your student needs a letter to give to their employer to get 5 weeks off work or whatever, talk to us and we can send you a copy of a letter. Is that on the website too?
Yeah, I'm going, on the summer webpage, I am gonna get a generic letter that says, dear employer, your student will be attending Upward Bound. And then I'll have like the different dates. So like if you're doing the 6 week, the 5 week, or just the 1 week, you would just circle that and then you can give that to your employer. Usually I haven't had any employers say like, no, you still can't have off. So it's best to let them know like now. So yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So I don't know why the drawing's got on there, but whatever, we're gonna move forward. So this summer, unlike last summer, students are going to have roommates. When you go to college, you will have a roommate. On that elective sheet form, you were given the option to select who you wanted to room with. We'll try to accommodate that as much as possible. So every room is going to have 2 beds, 2 desks, 2 chairs, 2 dressers, 2 closets, 2 wastebasins, 2 study lights, 2 mirrors. And there's a cable TV connection, so you can bring a TV if you want, but honestly, we don't want people staying up all night watching TV. You can bring gaming systems, which we'll get into in a minute. You do need to bring, we'll get into that at the end. So I'm gonna show you this video that talks about Watson Hall and what a room might look like.
Welcome to North Grove Quad. The North Grove Quad is a girls' hall, Newton Hall, Thompson Hall, Watson
Turn the volume on. Just because I don't know if the online people, the sound isn't shared, so.
Okay.
Students living in the North Dubois Quad will be living in a scattered room configuration, meaning all genders can live on the same floor. The houses north of the Devote Quad are conveniently located north of the Devote Dining Center and are very close to the businesses and restaurants on Division Street. There are also sand volleyball courts located nearby. Each hall in the North Devote Quad is renovated and has individual room temperature control, air conditioning, and an elevator. Rooms in the North Devote Quad are traditional style, meaning they're set up for double occupancy. Each room comes with a desk, chair, bed, and bed frame, dresser, and a mirror for each roommate. Rooms in this quad also have ceiling lights. All halls in this quad have the same floor plan. Each hall has 4 floors filled with resident rooms and a basement with amenities. Each floor has a common kitchen and single-sex bathrooms. All basements have general neutral bathrooms. Located in the basement is the laundry room, common area, the computer room, quiet study room, and other private study rooms that you can check out at the front desk. Speaking of the front desk, each one has one located in the lobby. At the front desk, you can check out board games, kitchen equipment, sports equipment. You can send out mail, you can receive mail and packages, and pick up free garbage bags.
Okay. All right, so some of the things that are gonna be different than what you saw in that video is that we will not have boys and girls floors and vice versa. So we separate by that because we're all college students, they're all adults. We can't do that because they're all underage. So it's a little bit different. We also don't necessarily always have access to the computer lab. The students will get iPads anyway, so I don't think they're gonna necessarily need that, so. So your food is all gonna be at the DeBow Dining Center, so breakfast, lunch, dinner, pretty straightforward. We are assigned a particular time that we all go. We all kind of go as a group. There's snacks every night before study session, but you are allowed to keep whatever snacks and stuff that you want. If you want to bring a little refrigerator, you can do that. If you want to have snacks for yourself, because you'd like to have that in your room, that's totally fine. So with that, you can bring, oh, somebody wants to get admitted. You can bring whatever you want to make your room comfortable. We will not have lofts like in there. In this, you saw people have like their beds lofted. That's the thing only for the academic year. So you can configure your room any way you want when you get there to talk to your roommate, but you do have to put it all back before you check out. So okay. I feel like there's something that she mentioned in that I wanted to talk about. Ugh, how come I can't move? Where's the cursor?
Oh, it's on the screen up there. Use the touch.
It's on the, because it's double screen, so you need to do
Oh,
that.
that one. Okay. Laundry. Okay, so as you saw in the video, there is a laundry room. Freshman focus week, you likely will not need to do any laundry unless there's an emergency. If that happens, go find the hall director and they can show you where the laundry room is. Laundry is free, but since we're paying for it, we're not gonna let everybody do laundry every 2 days, okay? So we're gonna have certain times, the laundry room's gonna be open, specific dates and times, unless again, it's like an emergency, like, I don't know, we were outside and your clothes got all dirty and every single piece of clothing is somehow needs to be washed. So you're not allowed to do laundry during study session or after lights out. So again, like I said, specific times, that's gonna be up to the hall director. And then we do keep laundry detergent and dryer sheets behind like the front desk, or like I think we do laundry pods or something, don't we? Yeah. But you can bring your own, like if you just prefer to use your own, that's totally fine too. So if you've never done laundry before, maybe somebody can show you before you come to summer session. Otherwise, we do have staff who can help you with that. With laundry. start talking about stuff to bring. One of the things that students really forget to wash every week is their sheets and towels. So please remember to put that in your laundry every week. So unless you want to bring 5 sets of sheets, I don't think anybody wants to be doing that. So. All right. All right, workout center. Some of you have been asking about the fitness center and being able to work out. Traditionally, they didn't let us do this, but this year we kind of twisted some arms and we were able to get access to the Allen Fitness Center on campus 2 nights a week. So Mondays and Wednesdays between 4 and 8. We'll take students, they have to go with a staff member. We need a waiver on file from your parent guardian, which we will mail to you. It looks like one of the other forms that you filled out called the assumption of risk, but this one specifically says Allen Center and Fitness Strength Center. So we have to have you do that one specifically. We'll probably have students sign up. Like we'll take 1 staff member, 10 students from like 4 to 5. And then after dinner, we'll take another group from 6 to 7, another group from 7 to 8. I can't imagine we're going to have 30 kids all the time that want to work out, but who knows? So if you want to be able to have access to that and work out or use treadmills or lift weights or whatever, when we mail you that waiver form, send it back to us. You can bring it on the day of check-in as well, and we'll collect those. So
I'll put that online.
yeah. So yeah. So. Plus, there's also staff. We usually have a group of students who like to get up early and walk on the outdoor track or go for a jog and stuff. That's totally fine too. You can work that out with your other people. If we get enough students who want to do those kind of things, there's be a staff member usually is willing to do that. All right, visitors, can you visit your students? The answer is yes. So you can have visitors during your free time is preferred. So usually students get out of class roughly about 4 o'clock. So usually from about 4 to 5 is a good time to visit, or between 6 and 8. We also ask that you try to give us advance notice. So just in case we have something going on, we can say, oh, we're going to actually be over in the planetarium. That's not a good time or whatever. So only parents and guardians and authorized adult are allowed in the student's residence hall room. That's for security purpose. We don't know what people are bringing in. So if a student has a friend that visits, like of their own peer group, you are restricted to visiting outside or in the lobby area. They cannot come into your room. That's a big no-no. You get to sign in and out. There'll be a sign-out book in the front desk. And the residence hall director reserves the right to say this person can no longer visit if they're causing any kind of disruptions or making an unhealthy environment for our students. So with visitors. If there's a particular person in your student's life that you do not want them to have any contact with, like sometimes we have students that are in the middle of parents are going through custody battles or some kind of other situations. And if there's a particular person that's not supposed to have contact with your student, we appreciate getting that student's name or that person's name so we can sometimes it's like they want to be like, oh yeah, it's okay. My mom said it's okay to meet this person. If we can look on the list and like them, we're not going to let that person come visit you. So keep us up to date on those kind of situations. All right, residence hall, security and off-campus restriction. Because of a bunch of state laws and a bunch of UW system policies, our students are not allowed to go anywhere by themselves. So they have to be with a staff member on campus and also off-campus free time. So if they are with you and they're signed out, that's totally fine. If they want to go to Starbucks after class, we usually get a group of students and they go with a staff member. They can go to Starbucks or to a store, or sometimes we take students to Target or Walmart and things like that to get things that they might need. There's a dollar store pretty close to where we are. Even on campus, our students cannot walk around by themselves. Like they can't just go exploring. We have to have an adult with them. So if you want to go see like the Shemekely Nature Preserve that's across from our residence hall, or go to the track or go play basketball, we have to have a staff member with you. And usually we have like some kind of sign up or kind of announcement. Hey, if you want to go do this or this or that tonight, be in the lobby at this time and we'll go do that. So again, you can sign people off campus. If you want to like come and say, hey, I'm going to be in town, I'm swinging by, I want to take my student out to dinner, that's great, that's fine. Just call the hall director and give us an approximate time that you'll be at the residence hall picking them up, and we'll make sure that they're ready for you. All right, the outside residence halls are always locked. Only the staff have a safe lock to get in. So students, if you get locked out after hours, you gotta call the outside phone to get let in, and of course, now you're in trouble because it's after hour. Parents and guardians, if you're there, there's an outside phone, you can punch in, or you can just call the hall director, say, hey, I'm here to pick up so-and-so, and somebody will let you in. We do have security alarms. They look like, I don't know, they're like little alarms, yeah. They look like I don't know what they look like, but anyway, they're like this big and they hang on the door and we punch in a code. And so at night we put them in front of the stairwells, in front of the elevators, and if those go off, that means somebody's either coming in the hall that doesn't, not supposed to be there, or a student is trying to leave when they shouldn't be leaving. And then alerts the staff and it's really loud and kind of obnoxious and got to punch in a code to get it to turn off. So it's a pretty slick system. Don't worry, they're not in front of the bathrooms. So if you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you can still certainly get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So. All right, like, anything else? All right, before we talk about the peer coaches, I did want to say, I lost my train of thought. All right. What's that?
You want to introduce them?
Yeah, if you're a peer coach, can you just come down, please?
Who wants to, like, if you'll be
Yeah.
there one this summer? That's it.
Maybe I'll let Jeff handle this slide. Yeah, I think a lot of them are online.
They're all online. All right, do you guys just want to introduce yourself, say what school you're from, what grade, and what the best part of Upward Bound is?
Okay, my name's Jackie. I'm from Spash. I'm currently a sophomore. And I would say that the best part about Upward Bound is all the friendships that you make.
Okay, awesome.
My name's Dawson. I go to Lincoln High School. I'm a junior, and I would say the food.
Okay.
Food is good.
Okay,
They
so.
get freshman 15 like 3 years early, just so you know.
So the peer coaches are coming during Freshman Focus Week, and they're going to be taking some leadership training that week. They're also going to be helping out with some of the activities. The peer coaches kind of serve as first friends and mentors to all the new students. They'll get assigned a new student. So if you get an email from someone that says, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm a peer coach with Upward Bound, don't freak out, that is legit. Because one of the things they have to do is kind of get to know you with their assigned.
I'm going to have the
Student.
online student. Alicia, are you there?
Yeah, she's here. I see.
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you, if you want to turn on your screen, the people in person can't see you, but the online people would, if you just want to introduce yourself.
It's kind of, I can't turn on my screen. I'm in a
Okay.
bus.
Okay,
Okay.
just leave it off.
Okay. Hi, I'm Alicia. I go to Lakeland. I'm a sophomore. And the best part about Upward Bound is definitely the people.
And for Lakeland Union High School, that's up in Monaco, for those of you that aren't familiar. Brixton, are you
Yep.
there?
Yes, Brixton is here. Hi.
Can you show your camera, or are you on a bus too?
No, I'm not on a bus. I can show my face.
Hi.
Hi, can you guys see me?
Yep, except for the
All right.
people in person, sorry.
Hi, I'm Brixton. I am a current junior at Spash, and I love Upward Bound for all my friends that I get to meet there.
Thanks, Brixton.
Hannah's online.
Hannah, are you there?
Yep.
You're on.
I'm Hannah. I go to Lincoln. I'm currently a sophomore. And the best thing about Upward Bound is definitely the people and beating them in the sports that we play.
In the what?
In the sports.
Oh, sports, yeah.
If I was correct, y'all lost against Team Rage in the Sweaty Four. I'm just saying, my team came in first.
All right, Gao.
Go Team Rage.
Team Rage.
John.
Gao, are you there?
John.
Well, Gao was online, but he's not.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Is it?
I can hear you now.
Hello?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yep.
can.
You must be cutting in and out.
All right, I guess we can't hear you, so we'll skip you. Sorry, bud.
Okay.
Callie is a junior
Okay,
at
so
Lincoln High School.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I go from Lincoln High School. And the favorite.
All right, we don't know what your favorite part is. Your favorite part is that Jeff works with Upward Bound. All right, John.
Hello?
Hello?
Can you guys see me?
Yeah, you're kind of in and out though.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh. My name is John. I go to Spash, and my favorite thing about Upward Bound is meeting the new people and also like playing with sports and activities that we do.
Right, thank you. And for those of you that don't like sports, like I do not play sports well, don't be worried, you're not forced to play anything. So I would have been terrified if I was forced to play like any of that stuff. Yayi.
Hi, I'm Yayi. I'm a junior at Lincoln High School. My favorite thing about Upward Bound is that everyone is nice and inclusive.
Kaylee. Kaylee, are you there? I know you're online. Kaylee Huss. Oh, she is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm Kaylee. I'm a junior. I go to Lakeland High School, and my favorite part about Upward Bound is just the stress they alleviate as far as applying to college and all that.
Right. We got a college related answer. Nice. Okay. Thanks, Kaylee. Is Anissa?
Yes.
Anissa Vu?
Okay, I'm Anissa. I go to Spash and I'm a current junior. And my favorite thing about Upward Bound is also like just like the people.
Thank you. Are there any peer coaches online that I missed?
You missed me, Jeff.
You missed me, Jeff.
Oh. Okay, we'll go with Taylor.
Okay. Caitlin, out. So hi, I'm Taylor and I go to Lincoln High School and I'm a current junior. And my favorite thing about Upward Bound is definitely the people. Sorry, Jeff, not about college.
That's why I didn't mention you. Vanessa.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I go to Spash, and my favorite thing is definitely the people, eating at the boat and kind of just like getting new experiences and like going out of your comfort zone and just like meeting new people.
Okay, awesome.
All right, now did I miss anybody?
Me. You missed me, Jeff.
Lillian.
Oh, I saved the best for last. Don't worry, unless there's another one.
Hi guys, I'm Lillian. I'm a junior at Spash, and the best thing about Upward Bound, other than the people, is everything we do. There's always so much to do. There's always so much like games, so much activities, and it's really fun.
Awesome. Thanks, Lillian. All right, anybody else? We had 17 this year. This is the most I've ever had, so I couldn't say no to everybody. They're all great students.
Well, we also have a lot of new incoming students who are going to be here for their first time. So
yeah,
if you are brand new to Upward Bound, have never been to a summer program, you are going to get assigned to a peer coach.
Yeah.
Who's going to try to make the transition to Upward Bound a little bit.
So basically all the peer coaches will be coming the first week along with freshman focus. So while the freshmen and sophomores who are doing the rewind are taking class or doing like the program during the day, the peer coaches will be doing a leadership training and also like a peer coach training. So current 8th graders, rising 9th graders over the summer will be assigned a peer coach. So they will exchange text, email, Snapchat, whatever mode of communication they determine best. And we'll do like a personality match thing too. Some students want someone from their high school, some don't matter. Some prefer male, some prefer female or whatever. So they'll get matched with a person to kind of be that mentor to them in the program. Also, all new students this year that joined anytime after last summer. So if you started during the academic year this year, or you haven't started yet, you will be assigned one during the 5-week session as well. So they're just another resource in the program to lean on if you need anything. So, all right, thank you guys. You may have a seat.
All right. All right, we're almost done here. All right, what to bring? So if you probably all picked up a list on your way in. So if you're coming to freshman focus week, they're basically the same list. Freshman focus week doesn't have as much stuff on it because you're not there as long, but you know, you need to bring your bedding. That's a really key thing. That was a cost saving measure. The university stopped providing linen. So pillow, sheets, blankets, whatever you like to have in your bed. You can bring a comforter if you want. You can do whatever you want in terms of making up your bed. You also can bring a sleeping bag for our weekend at the Central Wisconsin Developmental Station. If you do not have a sleeping bag, Upward Bound does have a few we can check out, but not a ton. Or you can bring bedding. You don't have to have a sleeping bag for that week, but you know, you just have to make sure you wash it when you get back. Personal items, sunscreen, mosquito repellent. We also have those on hand, but it's good to have your own. Face masks, if you just want to have a supply just for your own use. Optional, they will have air conditioners. You can bring a fan if you prefer that. You can turn the AC off if you want. Somebody else is in that wants to join again. Yeah.
Someone's got connection issues.
Yeah. Okay. Swimsuit, athletic shoes, just summer clothing. We like to have your shorts at mid-thigh. I know it's like really hard to find this stuff, so don't like go kill yourself looking for like, we're not going to measure. Just, we don't want any body parts that shouldn't be showing. That's basically the rule. One pair of jeans, long pants in case it's cool, sweatshirt, light jacket, rain gear. Like I said, we will have class whether it's raining or not. So, I mean, need to have an umbrella.
You need to have a pair of long pants or jeans for science class, regardless. That is true, right?
And they can be sweatpants. They don't have to be jean. Athletic clothing. If you want to, like Upward Bound does have tennis rackets, volleyball, soccer balls, etc. If you really want to bring your own, please put your name on it so we know it's yours and doesn't get mixed up. Things have a tendency to disappear, so don't bring like your prized tennis racket or something. Shower caddy, you know, it is, the bathrooms are common. Can somebody who's been there before kind of explain the bathrooms? It's individual bathroom stalls, obviously, and then individual shower stalls, correct? Okay. It's a curtain, okay. Okay. I recommend shower shoes. Laundry basket, clothes hangers, if you want to hang anything up, you don't have to hang anything up. That's just something that you can do if you want. And then any formal dress clothes you want for an end of the season banquet. If you don't have dress shoes, don't worry about it. We just want something other than like your t-shirt that says, you know, I like Pokemon or something. A computer, tablet, iPad, other electronic device. If you have a device from your school that they'll let you keep and that's comfortable for you, that's totally fine. You will still get an iPad, but if you want to have your own, whatever works for you, you will, like I said, you will get an iPad. You will also get a backpack. So, but if you prefer to use something else, you can feel free to bring that.
The iPads that are issued are like these, and then they have a keyboard, and so you can kind of use them almost like a laptop. They're not the best, but so if you don't have the technology, that'll be issued to you. So
yeah. Game systems, we do allow students to have those, but honestly, if you end up spending all your free time doing that, or if you're doing it in times you're not supposed to be doing it, we will take the cords or something and you don't play your games anymore. So be responsible with your stuff. I don't recommend bringing really expensive like AirPods or anything. They're gonna get lost, they're gonna get stolen. As much as you want to try to trust everybody, there's always some student who like, I'm not gonna leave my room, or your roommate leaves your door open. I just went down the hallway. Well, now your $20 that you had on the table is gone, your AirPods are gone or whatever. So I recommend not really bringing a lot of money and not super expensive items. If you want to bring a bike, that's totally fine. Skateboards, they don't allow skateboards through campus or on campus sidewalks. So I mean, I don't know what kind of opportunity you have for that. Anything else? I feel like, okay, personal vehicles. I guess that's the next slide. Summer school. Does anybody know they have to take summer school at their home school? Okay, well, if you decide that you have to take summer school, particularly SPASH students in particular, because you can get yourself there and back, please let us know so we can adjust your schedule accordingly. Visitors, we talked about parking. Is anybody planning to bring a vehicle, their own personal vehicle? Okay. We don't recommend it because A, you have to pay for it, parking, and B, you don't really need it unless for some reason you have to go, your parent guardian wants you to be able to take yourself home. That's totally fine. So since you check in on a Sunday, that right away that Monday we'll have to take you over to parking to get a parking sticker, because otherwise they're going to charge you. I think it was about $45 last year to park it for the 5 weeks. And the parking lot is, I think, across the street from the residence hall. So if you don't have to have your car, if it's not a necessity, I recommend not having it. Okay, all right. Are there any other questions? We've kind of come to the end.
This is the last one.
Yeah. Questions? I know we went through a lot of information, and a lot of that stuff you have as handouts. You can kind of look at it at your leisure.
I'm gonna stop sharing the screen.
Okay.
Do it on this phone.
I guess there's some chat.
Please sit up. You're hurting me. That was an hour ago.
Oh, okay.
Back hurts. Oh.
Okay. Any questions, anybody?
Feel free to email us to.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming. I know this is super long, but there's a lot of info to go through. It's hard to make this stuff exciting. So thank you for staying awake. For those of you that didn't fall asleep, go get dinner if you haven't had it. Come talk to us if you have any questions. We'll be hanging out for a little while. So we're really glad that you all have joined our program. For those of you that have been with us, we love working with you, and for parents, we love working with your students. Everyone's been very great. So yeah, have a great night. And like I said, we'll be hanging around.
Please.
Thanks for coming, Dawson.
Where is it?
Oh, sure. Okay. Actually, can I, do you have a few minutes now? Or we do next. Next, does it go by this?
Make sure you.
Okay. Is there a good time, like do you have a study hall in your schedule?
Can you do whatever?
It would be easier trying us to.
Okay, so.
But we can't, because they're busy
Once it's set up a
Monday,
time, then we
we'll
can
make sure it's.
To make it like 15 minutes, like we're coming in like out of school. Yeah, that he gets off the bus and he gets about 4 o'clock, yeah, okay. So, how about if you just send you an email, but first the time. You're pretty good. That's just the good to know. Like, pretty much. So you're the one who. Yeah, this is the she said you can come to school.
I think I have it on my, because I have it on my at home. So I
Okay,
have it on there.
okay, so, okay, so we'll figure out what, like. How the subject.
Awesome, that's.
All right, thank you for being the paperwork out first. Oh, thank you. Vaccination stuff.
You don't know all of your.
But. Is that the same?
Well, they don't know the dates.
But did you go out on the vaccination site that was on
To immunization.
the immunization?
So there's a website where you sign in,